Welcome back to Delta Green, everyone, to Z-Cell's story. One of horrors and destruction of the body and soul and general mayhem. This show is rated R for cosmic horrors, and we are on a night on Owlshead Mountain, part 2. Last time, when our brave Z-Cell was here, they'd had 8 months of quiet, peace, as peaceful as it ever gets for a Delta Green agent, when they were cordially invited to a night at the opera. And so everybody heads out. It's Agent Alphonse that has apparently an assignment for you. In Vermont this time, and an unofficial assignment as well. This one is off the books. You can't wave your FBI badges around this time, and you don't have... The local FBI in Vermont is completely unaware of your being there. You have traveled through Montpelier in Vermont, and you have met with your local contact, Agent Irene, who briefed you in her van, explaining that your mission is that of research this time. 2 surveyors have gone missing on Owlshead Mountain, and your job is to determine if there is a direct unnatural threat. But you're not to engage that threat. You just have to identify whether it's there or not. Irene have been on a previous op in the area and is acting as an advisor only, connecting you to local friendlies that she knows. She has stated that the op she was on was unrelated to, or should be assumed to be unrelated to, the current op. Because these surveyors went missing on Owlshead Mountain, and her op was on the nearby Glastonbury Mountain. You made your way into the valley, the towns around the mountain. You have a motel in Townsend. Irene revealed her 2 contacts, a local woodsman named Old Thomas and a deputy at the Washington County Sheriff's Department, Warren Fitzgerald. You went to just generally plan your work. Tristan and Irene went to the Sheriff's Department to find Fitzgerald. The others were picking up your gear. You did see Fitzgerald, but when he saw Agent Irene, he just turned and left, clearly wanting nothing to do with her. And apparently he has turned to drink. You have proceeded to connect with the other friendly, Old Tom, and you found his shack after a couple of hours through dense, disorienting forest. He's a Pennacook native, and he has been welcoming you and shared some unsettling local lore. He spoke of a creature called the Child of the Forest that might hunt near Fells Ridge, and a 50-year-old encounter on Owlshead Mountain with glowing, flying, crab-like beings he called the Winged Ones. And that's basically where we stopped. Who is with us today? Who is Z-Cell?
Hi, I'm Briar, and I'm playing Dr. Alex Blair.
This is Coach. I'll be playing Agent Adrian Fallis.
I'm Chorus.
I'm Cal, and I'll be playing... First, you go first.
I'm Corvus, I'm playing Jareth Tristan.
I'm Cal, I'll be playing Jacqueline Morgan.
I'm Harper. I will be playing Sarah Gwynn.
And there we are. At Old Thomas's place. Though I guess we should first... look at the map. So what Old Thomas said is that he suspects there's a Child of the Forest. He doesn't get more specific than that. The Child of the Forest is a magical creature. He said something about that. It can hide very effectively, but he's seen some carcasses around Fells Ridge, and he gets the feeling that it's staked a territory there. But that's up north from Old Thomas's place. Just due west is Owlshead Mountain, where the 2 surveyors went missing. And he told you about a time 50 years ago when he encountered something up there. He was following some crazy old dude. He wasn't old at the time necessarily, but he was following some crazy fella, hopefully to his distillery. It wasn't his distillery, it was a weird ritual with winged ones, and so old Thomas has not been up on Owlshead Mountain for 50 years. And that is what we know, isn't it? It is now nearly 9 p.m. on this Saturday, June 6, 1998. And we are at Old Thomas's shack, which is a weird place with no modern amenities at all. And he has offered you coffee, which I'm sure Morgan has been drinking. Yeah, there are actual gas pumps standing. He has apparently carried gas pumps out here for whatever reason. There's also a bunch of all sorts of Pennacook native art and animal pelts and wood carvings and so on and so forth. He doesn't have electricity out here. It's all a wooden stove. And there's no bed in here, so I guess you'll have to use your sleeping bags when the time comes. But that's where we are.
I would like to note that Dristan would be on guard. Like, he would take first watch in a sense to make sure, like, nothing's going to break into the cabin and jump us immediately, and then once he's comfortable, that's when he's going to get his long night's rest.
Yeah, many of you have noticed how Agent Irene has been a little bit twitchy since you entered the forest, nervous. She is calmer inside the cabin, as if these wooden walls will keep out whatever threat is out there. But since our friend Cal missed last session, what did you guys conclude about a possible preternatural threat on the mountains?
There is a preternatural threat on the mountains. We just need to go up and look at it, and then leave.
Yeah. So it seems like Irene's was very recent and involving whatever the child of the forest thing is, and we shouldn't assume that it's connected, but it may have some sort of overlap. But ultimately, whatever happened on the mountain might be related to a story that we heard 50 years ago from this guy as a kid. But yeah.
Exactly.
It's safe to assume that there's a multitude of unnatural creatures here, so don't assume it's one particular one.
Makes sense. It is a mountain.
Indeed.
So let's just take a look and get the hell out of here.
Yeah, let's get going.
Yep.
We need to take a rest or a watch anyway. We should just go ahead.
This feels too easy.
Meta knowledge, it's called Night on Owlshead Mountain, not Weekend at Owlshead Mountain. So we should go ahead and get rolling.
Oh, you wanna go out at night?
No!
Yeah, no.
No!
Thank you.
No!
Remember what happened at
movies
night?
to know where that
Fuck
goes.
no! Fuck no!
Well, I mean, last time we went out at night, we found exactly what we were looking for, so.
The thing is,
Yeah,
if we
but
don't go out
people
at night,
died.
yeah, if we don't go at night, we have plausible deniability that we didn't find it.
Okay. I'll take next watch then.
This feels too easy.
Yeah.
I'm just guessing here
Okay,
that
sure.
Morgan has brought all the stuff that she had in the...
Absolutely. This is my forte.
Yeah. her
This is my thing.
AK-47, the improvised explosive devices that you made for a different op like almost like a year ago now and still have not used.
It's always useful to have bombs.
Exactly.
You can threaten people with them.
You can. Yeah, this is true.
Yeah, this is my kind of mission though.
Find something and blow it up. Though you were
I'm
told
just, like,
not to engage with whatever is up
I mean,
there.
yeah.
Or I didn't
Yeah,
quite
most of
interpret it
them-
as do not engage so much as just, hey, if you see something, say something, but it doesn't seem it's like a don't defend yourself to preserve ecological sanctity or whatever.
I'm just really good at roughing it out in the woods.
That is true.
Like literally skills. It's just roughing it out in the woods.
Very well. Yeah. So
at
are we gonna
survival.
take
It's
various
7.
shifts?
I guess.
I believe so.
I'm cool to cover like 2 watches or 3 or 4 hours worth.
Very well.
I can take one.
Are we organizing
I'll
an
take one
order
too.
to these watches?
Oh.
I already said I'm going first watch.
You did, yeah.
Are we just sleeping the... How long is it until daybreak?
Oh, that's a good question. It is June in Vermont.
Long days, that's good for us.
Is it raining?
Not right now. Sunrise about 5:30, sunset about 9. So it's just literally coming down now, the sun.
Okay, so then yeah, just regular 8 hours. So let's try to get everybody up around 5 a.m. That way we can be packed and ready for once the sun starts coming up. Save as many hours as we can. And if that's the case, I'm cool to cover the last half. So wake me up around 1 or so, and I'll cover the last 4 hours.
You need sleep too.
I can take.
You have
first
5
watch.
people to take watches, so everybody can get a full night's sleep and do a 2-hour shift.
Yeah.
Fair point.
Yeah. And we can't risk anything. If these things are capable of violence, like the last, like what you said the last one was like, then we can't risk it.
Old Thomas and Irene are listening, chatting a little to themselves, watching you guys and listening into what you're saying. But they're not going to interfere with it, and they're not going to interrupt your plans.
They're looking at us like we're a bunch of idiots.
I didn't say that.
I mean, we are. We are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Also,
No offense, Tristan, but yeah.
None
we're a
taken.
bunch of idiots.
Well then. You are not spending a night on Owlshead Mountain right now. You're spending a night next to Owlhead Mountain. Because this is in the valley between the mountains, isn't it?
Yeah.
I don't know if everybody wants to head straight to your sleeping bag. It's only 10 p.m. after all. But old Thomas keeps calling Irene Jeannie for whatever reason. But yeah, they chat a little bit about old times, but not that much. It's just, you look good, glad to see you up and about, that sort of thing. She mentions that she's been hiking a lot since last time, and apparently mountaineering, not necessarily mountain climbing with pistons and all that. What do you call it? But at least scaling some mountains, the hiking up mountains. And she will add, without forests. Old Tom is just nodding at that. But even though he might sympathize with her reluctance to hike mountains, forested mountains, he's obviously unconcerned himself, given that he still lives right here.
Seems to me he's so afraid to hike out of the forest that he won't even leave.
He just came back from a hike in the forest. He just doesn't go up on the mountaintops. He said that much. And
Okay.
certainly not on
You got me there.
Owlshead.
I don't even know like almost besides the water like on the floor and it doesn't work.
What was that?
Al, we can't really understand you.
Oh, what is it? It's not work.
Cal?
What was that?
That wasn't me.
Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Alright, so... You're going to be very surprised when I'm telling you that the night passes. And... yeah. You're gonna... Who took the last shift?
Probably me.
Did you take a second shift?
Not if there was 5 people, there wouldn't have been any point in it. But I'll take the last 2-3 hours, however long.
Getting up at 4-ish.
Yeah.
Old Tom is probably getting up early too. Not quite with dawn. Yeah, probably with dawn. There's the nice fire in the fireplace that keeps you all warm during the night. Because even if it's June, it's still early June. And it's the mountains of Vermont. So it's not going to be very hot. Because I know this, because I've spent my entire life up in the mountains. No, I've never been. But I'm guessing, because I can read a map. And old Thomas is gonna get up while Phallus is having that last watch and start preparing the coffee over an open fire. It gets since people have taken watches, you can have kept the fire going all night. There's certainly enough firewood for it. You have quickly discovered that the only place to go to the restroom out here is in nature's green embrace. Old Thomas has a midden heap, it's literally a hole in the ground. And I guess he buys bathroom tissue from the local stores every once in a while for the necessary hygienes. But other than that, it's not even an outhouse here.
Before I start sourcing water, or before I start making coffee, where does he source his water from?
Oh, he has a stream right outside.
Yeah, I just see that actually.
Yeah.
I made sure to bring water. I'm gonna go ahead and use that for the coffee. I didn't mention it, but I specifically also didn't say anything about drinking coffee the night before, just because I'm weirded out by the situation. If we're literally in the stream between 2 mountains that may or may not have some spooky stuff on it, I'm not trying to eat or drink children of the forest droppings or whatever.
Children of the forest droppings.
Oh my gosh.
What's that toxoplasmosis that cats have? Imagine whatever
Oh yeah.
the weird ones have.
Maybe it's actually a good thing, like a gold star for Mario.
Yeah, let me know how that goes for you.
I could find out.
It streams outside, by all means.
Gonna go collect a sample.
Old Tom is still alive. Maybe has the runs occasionally, but he's still alive.
He is alive. This is truth.
It doesn't look compromised.
How does he look for his age now that we're talking about old Thomas's vitality?
Blair is the one with the strongest medical eye of the team. He, you can only guess to his age, maybe 80, something like that. Slightly above, slightly beyond, below, who knows. And yeah, he looks spry enough. At that age, though, anything can tip you over. Broken leg could get fatal. He's clearly a man of strong convictions and stubbornness who stays out here in fairly rough conditions in spite of his advanced age. He coughs a little bit, he moves stiffly, but spry enough for his age. It's
Okay.
like he's not a day above 70.
That's how I feel.
You good?
Most days, yeah.
Old Tom can cook everybody some breakfast, bacon, sausages, and eggs, if you all like. He has some bread, too, tucked away.
Bread.
He doesn't have a
Oh,
refrigerator, obviously, but he does have a cool larder. It's the equivalent of. It's just basically a hole in the ground that he can go into and get his stuff from. Get his food stuff from. Keeps pretty well. It's cool down there, definitely. But yeah, he's whipping up a breakfast for you. If you're headed out into the forest, figure you might as well have some energy with you before you leave.
Some food would be lovely.
Yeah.
I could do for some bacon on eggs. What's the grit situation out here?
He has a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Yeah.
And he is certainly sharing. Do you have any idea of where you might want to go next? He says. Here to help, aren't I?
My main idea, at least, is where those researchers disappeared. Immediately investigating that area first and foremost. If we can't find anything, that's when we start checking the other mountains in case the creature didn't make a den on that particular mountain, but left to go hunting further than usual.
Makes sense.
That makes sense, I guess, he says. Yeah, they've been word in town that they're gonna set up a ski resort in Owlshead.
That's stupid.
Oh, is that what the
Really dumb.
surveyors were there for?
Yep. But I guess they're not surveying much now on the mountains, trying to find them. Skiing. I don't know.
Let's get going. I'd hate to be stuck out there when it's dark.
Yeah, probably for the best.
Green, you coming along?
She's gonna look at you, look at old Thomas. I am here as an advisor, she says. You have to decide how you want to use my services. I've led you to old Tom. I can try to find Deputy Fitzgerald. We have his address.
I don't have any issue with that. Obviously, he didn't respond warmly when he saw you last. So if you are going to go try and make contact with him, at least be careful. Are you comfortable to hike out of here by yourself in the daytime?
I should be yeah, it should be fine to do that.
Cool. Would you also be comfortable to let us borrow that rifle till we see you next? Make things easier on your way out?
Oh, I have my own.
Sorry, was that her saying yes?
No, she has her own rifle. Oh, you want to borrow her rifle, or?
Yeah, because she has the rifle and the shotgun.
Oh, yeah. No, she's holding on to them. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's fair. All right, safe hike. I'm sure we'll see you and what was the deputy's name again? Frederickson?
Fitzgerald.
Yeah, Fitzgerald. You all catch up, and we'll try to catch up with you somewhere soon.
Best of luck, everyone. God be with you, because I won't be. She says. She is
Thank
trying
you.
desperately to do Delta Green humor. Oh, it was the first evening of the op, and you didn't all drink yourself stupid. This is just a complete breach of protocol, isn't it? But old Thomas the Friendly was there, so you're not supposed to spill secrets to someone. It was hard, wasn't it? You couldn't really do the first night of the opera ritual with the Friendly nearby, could you?
Everything PropSec.
Yeah.
Nope, it just has to be us.
Yep, that's how it is. Alright then. Yep, you are gonna head up onto Owlshead Mountain. Old Tom is looking as you're preparing, and I know Jeannie here can manage to get out of the forest here. He looks over to Dristan and Phallus. You haven't introduced yourself with your real names, have you? You just have used your code names, haven't you? As far as I know?
Yeah,
Yeah, I believe so.
since everyone's just been using their real names, especially the friendlies, just reciprocate in kind.
Agent Irene's real name is probably not Irene. She's part of ICEL.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But old Thomas is a friendly, so he doesn't have a code name. He's not an agent. But he's gonna look towards Phallus and Dristan anyway, and you know your way around the forest then, fellas?
I know
Not
enough.
quite.
Not quite. You sure? Looks towards, again, Dristan and Phallus. You sure you don't want your lady colleagues here to go with Irene and do some work in town, perhaps?
It is up to them. I do not presume to tell them what to do and what they can't do. They make their own
Don't yell.
decisions.
Yeah, it might be better to actually have a little bit of help if she's going to go try to run across Fitzgerald. And there's a library in town, right?
Not much of one, really, says old Thomas. You'd have to go to Montpellier and stuff like that for big library houses and such.
I think Sarah will stay with Dristan.
Blair's gonna stay as well in case somebody gets injured out here.
Yeah, the likelihood of one of them getting killed is considerably higher than someone getting a paper cut.
Oh, a lady doctor, he says. There you go. It's the 1990s, isn't it?
That it is.
That Morrigan, strength is not your foremost statistic, is it? You have a lot of constitution, but that's not going to shine through in your... you're just wiry and tough, aren't you?
Oh yeah.
Do you need me to come along, or...
If you wish to tag along, you may. I do not wish to bring you in harm's way. But if you wish to tag along to help guide, it'd be appreciated. But if you do not wish to, I understand.
Oh, I have absolutely no wish to go up on Owlshead, I'll tell you that. I haven't been up there for a long time now. For good reason. But he looks over the three ladies of Z-Cell again. I'll be darned if I'm gonna let three ladies go up there and in my mountains without a proper escort.
That's understandable. But if you are worried about their safety, I can at least say with everything that I have, I will protect my team with everything I have. I will fall before they fall.
Well, that's right and proper, young man. That's right and proper. Yeah, he seemed to be a little bit 50-50 on whether he should tag along or not. What do you guys think? It seems to me like you decide if you want old Thomas to go up with
Come
you.
along,
or
old
not.
Thomas. What better stuff do you have to do
Old
today?
man's got the flash around him.
What was that?
Old man's got death flags hanging around him. Gonna die if he comes with us.
And I think that means we should certainly bring him with.
Yeah.
NPC meat for the grinders. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Send him into the
Yeah.
shredder of despair.
The shredder. of
You call him
despair.
Thomas, I call him cover and concealment.
So that's what we call this campaign now, the Shredder of Despair.
Yes.
Very well. Yeah.
What if
Yeah. He'll start. You can tell that he is pretty much ready to go at any time because he has his backpack, he has his rifle, a 30-06, and his clothes were always hiking clothes because that's what he does. Yeah, he's just gonna load up on some extra ammo for his rifle and fill the thermos with proper coffee. I don't know if it's proper coffee. I don't know. It's gonna probably taste a little bit different than what Morgan is used to because it's made over an open fire and not in a coffee maker. But it is coffee.
Coffee is coffee. Give me the caffeine.
Indeed. Coffee is coffee. You're surprised to hear. Anyway. So. Into the forest it is, apparently.
Yes.
Yes. Scary stuff. Maybe.
I'm afraid of no trees.
You will be.
You should be horrified of trees, because things
Exactly.
hide in and on them.
Trees
But we're
are
not in Australia, so
terrifying.
we don't have to worry about drop bears. I mean,
Well,
remember what? Our last up?
I
yeah,
didn't
last time we had
Yeah.
tree combat, one of us nearly died.
One of
Oh,
us
yeah.
did die.
I
You
wasn't
died in
there
a
for that.
car crash, not
car
tree
crash.
Hitting
combat.
a tree.
No,
A tree
in
was
another
involved.
car.
No,
All right.
T-bone.
You T-bone another car. That's what you did.
Yeah.
I do
Yeah,
want to
be
point out that
afraid-
if somebody dies in a traffic accident out here, then we really had it coming.
Just
Yep.
a spectral car comes out of nowhere and runs us over.
Driven by none other than Delvin.
That would
Ooh,
be
or
a
that lawyer.
sanity check.
Yeah, or that lawyer guy that apparently keeps stating.
I do need to call the frat.
Yeah. You. Oh, yeah.
Someone
I
hasn't
need to
called the
call
fret yet.
I'll do it.
All right. Up we
I'll do
go.
that later.
Friends walking up the mountain.
Plus one old guy.
Yeah, the old Thomas is there too.
Yeah, there we go. Da-da-do. We are on the way into the forest. I guess old Tom will take point at least part of the way, and as it turns out, even though he might be old, I don't think he's that frail compared to many of the rest of you. Let's have a look at what your constitutions might look like. Is in decent shape. Dristan is also in decent shape. Morgan is iron. Blair, good shape. Phallus, okay.
It's better than average by
Yeah,
one
he's
point.
better than average. Slightly, yeah. I think 11 is actually average on 3d6, but yeah. Old
I'm
Tom,
a juggernaut.
it turns out, is going to be able to keep up with you, at least. And the way that your body is shaped by your activities in life, if you meet a horse rider, they're walking kind of bow-legged because they have been in the saddle for so long that their bone structure is bending a little bit around the horse's shape. Old Tom's body is made for walking in the woods in ways that I don't think any of you, except possibly Morrigan, can match. He knows exactly where to put his foot and where not to. He does not get disoriented by the trees, the lack of a clear cardinal. For him, there must be landmarks everywhere that he would recognize, at least initially while you're still in the valley. He knows this land like the back of his hand. He navigates and orients without even looking. His feet are doing the orientation for you. And how are we forming this? Is this still the order we're walking in?
Probably.
I would be in the front. I'd probably be somewhere behind him.
So, like that, more like? Old Tom is obviously up
Definitely.
here in the front, leading.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna be like somewhere with Old Tom is. So I'm really good at this.
I don't mind to cover the
Good
rear.
at
I've got the
woods.
shotgun.
Very
I'm
well.
almost as good. I'm almost as good as woods as I am at sneaky.
Quinn's
Woods is
probably
like
gonna-
my second
Sorry.
best ability.
Quinn's probably gonna say by Driston, just to make sure.
Yeah, who has the lowest survival skill here? We have...
Could be me.
Gwyn has no idea about what a forest is.
Oh my god.
I can identify a forest.
Look, there are trees.
There are trees, and for some reason, I know this is not a jungle.
I'm going
Not
to
a
be
lab.
a cruel and cold-hearted GM and
Oh.
ask you all to roll your survival.
Lovely.
Boy! Oh, come on.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Oh no!
Wait,
Morgan was supposed to be amazing at this.
oh,
This
no.
was supposed to be your
Oh,
show,
fail.
Morgan.
Oh, I thought I got a nat 100.
I am so disappointed.
Fuck.
You still got
What
a
happened?
You got a
Yeah.
net 77!
Yeah.
It was all zeros on my side, so I thought I got a
Wow.
100.
It's just everybody is terrible
God.
at being out in the forest.
Did they fall into a pit? What the
Everyone has fallen into
We-
pits.
we
No,
already
two
built
of
for
them,
this.
Phallus and Driston,
I think I made
the
it.
men of the outfit that old Thomas was relying on because he's old and has 1930s worldview on gender roles. Yeah. How do you guys want to critically fail Driston and Phallus?
Tristan
I wanna-
falls on Morgan. Everybody.
I want to
left.
trip and fall and accidentally shoot the shotgun, not hitting anybody, but just in the middle of the woods, just.
To
Uh,
work with
topple
that,
over.
I'm like so on guard and like constantly looking around that when he actually fires his shotgun, I trip backwards, stumble into Morgan, create like a domino effect and knocking others over.
Okay, let's see here.
We're hopeless.
Phallus. This is going great, you guys.
You see, we're good when it comes to killing a monster during an op, but when it's investigating. We're like, got thumbs up our butt. We don't know what we're doing.
I brought the wrong shoes, guys.
Apparently, next roll for Phallus will be at a -20 because he's just absolutely confused by this forest. Like, what is even going on? He has, after walking for a couple of hours, you don't hardly know what's up and down anymore because you're supposed to be going up a mountain, but as you go into the forest deeper and deeper, you can't even see where the mountain is anymore because there's just trees and there are slopes, and you walk up a little bit and then you walk down a little bit and then you walk up a little bit, and you don't know which way is which. It's a very good thing that old Tom is here to keep you from death and deadfalls. I'm going to overrule the confusion thing because it doesn't really track well with the current situation given that old Tom is here. But the table really wants you to get false information.
Yeah.
So apparently you're going to get false information of some kind, yeah.
Let me try to identify a tree real quick. What is a spruce?
But the slope pitches just enough to tilt your balance. There's plates, stone plates under your foot that will shift just a little bit with a soft clink. Almost feels like it's dinner plates. You will hear... Oh, are you going to assume that the bird song you're hearing is actually something really bad coming?
Oh, potentially.
Potentially.
Maybe using
I don't have high survival, so I think I would probably be rolling awareness primarily for my bird watching hobby. But
Well,
Maybe
old
like-
Tom's reaction to
Maybe
these
just
shenanigans and the fact that everybody is stumbling around and clearly don't have a good footing. Why don't we have Gwyn, Morrigan, and Blair describe your lack of competence walking around in the forest?
I just look. Today is an off day. Okay, today is an off day for me.
Clearly, yeah.
So I'm like not paying attention as much as I should have been, probably. And then people are like tripping on me, and it's throwing me off, and I'm like, just very like dissatisfied.
Old Tom will sigh a little bit to himself as he sees you all, I don't know, stumbling over each other in the forest. Good thing I came along, he says. It's clear. You spend a lot of time in the office, don't you? He says, looking at Dristan first.
No, I'm usually much better at this. Today is a very off day.
Of course it is, young'un. Of course it is. Anyway, I don't know what we're looking for up on the mountain exactly. I obviously don't know where the surveyors might have been going up on that mountain. I can tell you where they've been doing some previous work, but I couldn't tell you where they went missing. Could show you the stones.
The stones?
Yeah, the stones. Didn't I tell you last night?
If you did, it slipped my mind.
Yeah, I don't go up to the stones because I don't want to meet the winged ones again. But I know the winged ones made them. That's white folks thinks that it was us Pennacook who made the stones, but we know it was the winged ones.
Then it might be best to check those out first while we still have daylight.
I suppose it might be. Suppose it might be. Yeah. Anyone who is interested in reading the state of mind of old Thomas can go ahead and make a human check if you want.
Am I feeling?
Nope.
You know what?
Blair is
I
doing terribly
critically
today.
failed. Let's see.
Let
I have a
me
6.
try.
Did you roll that for me? I stepped away from the laptop for a second.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Tristan actually makes a human roll?
It's common sense. If
Well,
I
at
make a
least I-
critical fail, I get a success immediately after.
I failed
like
for you,
this
Phallus. Congratulations.
Part of my master plan.
Clearly, yes. And you had a -20 on your next roll anyway, so there you go. Now you don't have the -20. Now you got the -20 out of the system. Isn't that nice? Which also,
Yeah.
incidentally, means
I want
that
to be so good at people.
Phallus is clearly paying attention to the forest around him more than he is to old Thomas. Which tracks, doesn't it? Yeah, Ethan, who is walking next to old Tom, you will notice that he is not in a particularly jovial mood by going this way. And he doesn't have the rifle slung up behind his backpack. Rather, the moment you take your first steps up the slope of Owlshead Mountain, he is gonna bring down the rifle so he can easily just sling it up and draw it and shoot from like the shoulder strap and that sort of grip. He's not gonna hold it with both his hands, but because he has a walking stick as well. Yeah, these old bones ain't what they used to be. Don't get older, young'uns. Don't get older.
I'd
just
rather
hurts.
die of old age than die of getting torn to shreds, but I get what
Well,
you
that
mean.
is the smart. That is the good attitude, of course, he says.
But before anything, I can tell you're not very thrilled about this. And I know I just seemed incompetent, but I got your back. I'll try my best to not let anything bad happen. Need help, call out, and I will try to be there.
Sounds good to me. He says, though at this stage, does he really respect you and your outdoor skills? You get the distinct feeling, Tristan, that you're going to have to do something to impress upon old Tom that you're not all a bunch of rank amateurs. Particularly since you're going into an area that he is not comfortable going into.
Time to ride another creature.
Time to ride another creature.
Come here, winged
That's what we
ones.
wanna do.
Yeah!
Yep.
Tie a lasso, wear a cowboy hat.
Just doing that would probably make Gwyn lose sanity.
Mm.
Just watching you do that.
As we're
Funny.
walking up the slopes here, underneath your feet you have stones, you have some shrubbery, you have mosses, you have needles, fir needles that just swallow your footsteps. It's very, for those who know how to tread, you can be very quiet out here. It's like walking on a carpet almost. The air tastes faintly of sap. Every inhale is slightly colder than the last. There is wind, clearly, but not so much that you can feel it necessarily because it's up in the canopy. You can see the tops of the trees just slightly moving in response to the winds up there. But down here, where you are, nothing much stirs. Now in the morning, too, there will be mists that are threading its way between the trunks. Not so much that it's hard to see far, but just enough to shroud the ground maybe 20 or 30 yards out from where you're standing. You will pass by as you're walking, water coming down the mountain. You can hear it, the water splashing, but the sound keeps stepping one tree to your left, if you will, so it's just out of sight. Your words, as you're speaking, just disrupts the silence of the forest. You'll hear birds, you'll hear no doubt a woodpecker or two out there. Sometimes there's a rustling in the undergrowth. But for now, nothing much else. Old Tom
That's
walks
not
in
unsettling.
silence. I don't know if you guys are going to walk in silence. But he will break the silence, I think, as he's... I don't mean to pry, of course, he says, but... Because I know from Jeannie that what you fellas are doing is a strange business. A strange business indeed. But you seem to know more than most about what's going on in the world. I suppose that's a good thing. Or a bad thing, depending on how you look at it. Do you know anything about what we should be on the lookout for, except... Have you met any winged ones? Have you seen winged ones?
Didn't so much look like a crab, did it?
That's what I figured. That's what I saw. Flying crab, glowing. Yeah. Wings.
If it's anything like the IAPA, fight it with extreme prejudice and don't try anything funny.
He nods to himself. IAPA, he says. Never heard of anything like that.
It's not fun. Especially when you try to rip its wings off and it flies into the air. It's not a good experience.
I can believe you. It's pretty cloudy again this day. There's a little bit of drizzle that starts mid-morning, just drips, almost like a... I'm not going to say a dense fog because it's not, but the fog is... or the drizzle is enough just to be drops that stick to your skin and makes everything around you damp, but not enough to make you showered in rain or completely soaking. You can see the rocks have that cold sheen of dampness, and yeah, you keep moving. After a while, of course, you're gonna leave any of the logging roads that you might have been walking along at some point and start going higher up the mountains. Some of you all will have aching legs already, probably, because that makes sense, doesn't it? Mountain climbing is tough on those who are not used to it. He said from experience. Every once in a while, you're obviously gonna take a moment to rest and catch your breath, maybe drink some water, hydrate, grab a protein bar. So far, everything is quiet, isn't it?
Yes. It's a bit unsettling.
Now, why would you go and say that?
I also got my money
Forest
on perfectly mundane explanation.
The forest is supposed to be loud. That's how the forest works.
Goes to show you what you know about forests.
At least we
He,
can
he
hear the
said
animals.
not knowing a dang thing about forests.
I actually still live next to one. They're loud.
I live in a forest. It's not like I go into it. I like my house fine, thank you very much.
Your choice.
This is because I live in New Brunswick, and everything in New Brunswick is a forest, with some clearings for houses. That's about it.
You don't mind my hair.
Oh god.
Well then,
If nobody dies.
everybody died immediately. You keep walking up the slope here, Phallus and Blair are at the rear. And, well then, look at that. Phallus, you're gonna hear something behind you along the slope. Phallus, you there?
I'm sorry, I didn't realize I was muted. But yes, I will turn around and see what the noise on the slope is behind me.
The noise on the slope, it's rocks clattering down. Small stones just clattering down the slope.
The origin is not us, though? Like, it's further back from
No,
where we were?
it's up on sideways along the slope.
Oh, so not behind us.
It is behind you in the group here, but it's if you're walking, because you're not walking straight up the mountainside, you're walking like a zigzag pattern up towards wherever you're going. And so when you're looking left in this case, you will be looking up the slope, and it's coming from higher up and just clattering down behind you.
Then, yeah, how far ahead of me is Morgan?
Not very. I would think a few yards. I don't know. Ask Morgan.
Okay. Morgan, how spread out is everybody?
I would be closer to old Thomas.
Okay. I mean, I'm not trying to stay too far behind, so as long as I can stay like in close proximity to everybody, I'm not gonna yell and scream, but I'm gonna try and like alert everybody. Hey, movement left side. Like I said, not trying to raise my voice too high, but enough so at least like the group can hear.
Yeah, I can tell you that Gwyn doesn't hear that at all. She just keeps walking. Congratulations, Gwyn.
Yes.
Oh no.
Can I potentially stop her since I'm like right next to her if I heard Phallus saying, hey, movement?
You can, yeah.
I'm just gonna tap her shoulder and be like, movement behind us, on guard.
And so, based on how we're heading, where the movement of those rocks is, does it appear like we're headed in the same direction up the mountain?
Alice, what is your survival like?
Oh, don't ask me
Terrible.
that.
I'll roll it again, I'm not scared.
Feel free to try and make a roll for it.
I'll do it, watch. You're gonna be so impressed.
Yeah, no. You can't identify clearly. It's like Oh, maybe it was just like a deer that knocked something off. Who knows? You're not sure. You don't even know that you saw the stones. You just heard them. Maybe just being paranoid. Which,
Like
when Delta Green is the right attitude, but there's total and insufficient paranoia. Yeah. Old Tom, surprisingly, does not seem to have noticed any of this.
Can I also tap his shoulder and be like, motion behind us?
Yeah, he's gonna stop there and look over his shoulder and take a few steps in that general direction. Oh, I can't see anything, he says. He doesn't look seem happy about saying that, but he does say that. Maybe a deer knocked some stones, some rocks over.
You said there's creatures on this mountain that can go invisible, correct?
What did you say that?
What?
I'm pretty sure last time he said something about
Yeah, he did say
creature
that.
being
Yeah, he did say
invisible.
that.
I
But
don't
he
like that
says,
at all.
he says,
Neither.
no, that's on Fell's Ridge in Glastonbury, I think. Not on Owlshead.
Oh, thank God.
Is it possible it could have migrated here for better hunting, more food?
Maybe.
Does silver work against most creatures in this area?
He shrugs. I can't see nothing in particularly right now. Let's go on, shall we? So we get back at some point.
Yeah. On guard. 360 surveillance. Don't let anything that seems minor go unnoticed to the rest of us. You see something, call it out, no matter how minor.
You're gonna continue, no matter how minor. And weird noises.
Yeah.
Which is not forest
No,
noises.
can you-
At any rate, you keep
No.
moving, and old Tom is saying, yeah, we should go in this here direction. And as you keep walking for, how long can it be? Another half hour, an hour? Hard to keep track, really. It's not hard to keep track, because you all have watches, don't you? It's modern times. This isn't medieval times. You have state-of-the-art timekeeping. It's 1998. Maybe some of you even have digital watches, though they are no longer in fashion, because it's not the 80s anymore. But you will come upon there's a whole thicket of bushes and trees, fallen over trees, and next is like a deer path that bend away, and old Tom is looking over these things and going, He grumbles to himself. Isn't that funny?
See something?
It's been 50 years since I was up here last. The landscape has changed a bit. Mudslides, storms, trees fall over. Just when I was here last time, it was certainly easier to get up this way. Every path we're taking here, he says, along the deer paths and whatnot, it's bending away from where we're trying to get to, it seems to me.
Maybe it's for the best?
If the forest doesn't want us to go up there, who can argue with that, huh?
Exactly.
Though I dare say that you're here to find proof of bad things, aren't you? If we want to do that, I fear we have to break through these. Do some work to get through these hurdles. He's talking here about, like, trees that have fallen over, and, like, you can see the traces of old mudslides that where a bunch of rocks have just piled up against the tree, and it makes it really hard for you to climb over that hurdle. And we can try going around it, or we can try go through it. Your call. At this stage, though, Gwyn, you are just absolutely exhausted. Like, you are... short of breath, quite simply.
Yeah, it's just not her usual environment. Not really a fan of this whole joining Delta Green thing. It was just supposed to be a lab job.
Do you need to take a break?
Fine, I don't want to slow you guys down.
You'll slow us... The harsh truth is, you'll slow us down if you can't keep up eventually, and you eventually give out on yourself. So if we have to stop to take a quick break, that will be more optimal than pressing on and possible bad repercussions happening.
I'll be fine. Let's just get this over with and get back to the hotel. Just get this over with.
If you're sure.
I'm sure.
This is going great, y'all, isn't it?
Maybe our
Invisible
biggest
crabs.
enemy.
I'm scared of invisible crabs now.
I'm scared of visible crabs, okay? You're trying to take over the world!
Not just any crabs, winged crabs that glow.
I'm just saying, Old Bay's popular for a reason. Crabs are trying to take over the world, and Old Bay's the only organization brave enough to stand up to them.
There you have it. I would invite you all to roll an athletics check to climb through these brambles and these thickets, because you are stubborn, aren't you?
Lovely.
Brother, I'm so bad at rolling dice.
Wait, did my roll go through?
Yeah, we have a Driston here. Yeah,
There we go, okay.
it's a success even.
I'm so used to my dice being green that I saw the failure and I'm like, ooh.
That was apparently Phallus. Old Tom is an old man, and oh no.
Oh.
For once.
What's that?
For once.
Did he fall into a pit?
He does not fall into a pit, but he will in fact be panting a lot more than he usually does.
What is it with 77s?
I don't know. There's been a lot of 77s before here, so
Yeah.
he gets exhausted. Isn't that a bit embarrassing? But his cover here is his age, right? He can always say that he's very old. But yeah, Morrigan is the only one who makes it across. So for once, Morrigan, you get to show off your physique here. And how physical is that? Feel free to describe your prowess at this climbing exercise.
I have a lot of experience with climbing and stuff, so this is extremely easy for me and familiar. So I'm doing this is my job. Like this is like second nature to me. My grip strength is pretty strong too.
Absolutely. And Dristan, you're right behind her. I'm just going to add, apparently, the going through it took about as long time as it would have taken to try to go round. By the time you're through this thicket, which turns out to be much deeper and longer than anyone could have anticipated, it's basically lunchtime, and old Thomas is panting as much as Gwyn is. He's just leaning against his staff. Oh, young'uns. And he's clearly embarrassed about his exhaustion too, because he can't... Just being exhausted in front of the ladies is embarrassing enough. Guess my age is catching up with me, isn't it? Yeah, I'm not as spry as I was once upon a time. Had this been 50 years ago, I would have climbed that like a goat, but that's just how it is. I suppose this is as neat a place as any to sit down for a quick lunch break, isn't it?
I guess.
Break time, get something to eat. This is
Exactly.
perfectly fine.
So, did we actually pack anything?
Oh, you must have. I'm pretty sure you did.
Yeah, well, we made sure when we were grabbing camping supplies and stuff to grab like granola bars and trail mix, basic food stuff.
Exactly.
Jerky.
Okay, but did Driston eat all the jerky?
No.
That's the question. Okay.
Sharing is caring. He'll only eat about a half and then give it to the rest of the party.
Maybe that's why you fell back. You were too distracted eating jerky.
There will be some laughs and some, I don't know, some jokes. I don't know what you're joking about. Apparently jerky. But as you're standing up, ready to get going again, let's have a look here. Gwyn, where's your backpack?
Yes. On my back?
No, you set it down right there when you were gonna eat, and you took your food out of the backpack, and you're sure it was right there by the tree.
Hey, is everybody sure that they actually have their backpack?
Everybody else seems to.
Don't go
said-
blaming everybody else for misplacing your backpack. Come on.
I'm not saying you guys moved it. I'm saying maybe, like, someone picked up the wrong backpack?
We're being
It was-
followed.
I was gonna say raccoons, but that's probably more likely, yeah.
Old Tom is looking at Gwyn with a long kind of... It's a look that is mixed up between maybe disappointment, maybe I am not surprised, maybe he's a bit suspicious. It's hard to nail it down exactly.
I'll stand up and help search for it. If we just look around the local vicinity at the very least.
Yeah.
Feel free to
Yeah, I
make some
think-
search checks.
I think that disapproval is really gonna get to her, just because one of her... just
Driston-
because one of her motivations is being taken seriously.
Yeah, yeah.
Driston is going to like pat your back and be like, it's fine. We are being followed, whatever this is messing with us. And since he couldn't find anything, he's just going to say, just take half of my rations. I don't really need much.
No, you keep yours. I'll eat... I've already eaten. I
Take half the rations.
No! I already ate. I can eat later. I just...
He's going to put half of his like jerky bag in front of her, half of his water, and just walk away.
I'm gonna chase you down with that. You're not winning this game.
Thomas, he's trying to be nice and a gentleman there.
He does that.
Miss Zyra?
It's fine. Yeah, I know. But someone needs to take care of him too.
I'm sure you can brew him a nice cup of coffee when we get back. And but don't you worry, Miss Zyra. I'll take good care of you.
It's okay. I can take care of myself, and I can take care of him.
That's good for you. Yes. Sure you can.
Yeah.
We have done search checks here, and apparently Morgan is the one who succeeds.
What?
Yeah.
I succeeded too, didn't I?
Yeah. What was that?
I thought I succeeded. Yeah, I rolled a 27.
Yeah, Phallus as well. Yeah, you both
I did as
succeeded.
well.
You are very sure of some things here, I can tell you.
Oh, dang. 6.
It did not fall down the slope. It's steep enough here and there for a backpack to fall down and maybe be buried by the underbrush, but in this case there's absolutely no sign of that. It was there, because you can see the print of the backpack in the pine needles and the brushes, but it's not there anymore. It's just gone. This goes for Blair as well, of course.
I think she's just gonna take careful inventory of what she still has left on her, and try not to think about it too much.
Yeah, old Thomas is nodding to himself. He's not sure that doesn't look like it fell, he says. Not steep enough for that around here.
Everything points to us being followed by something. Whatever creature this is trying to take our supplies one by one, so that way we start getting weak, so that way it can start picking us off. Or take us down in a group once we're weak enough. If I had to guess by its tactics.
It could be that it also wants us to feel isolated and alone.
Possibly that as well.
Yeah.
Just keep a good handle on everyone's stuff from now on. Always have at least one hand on your supplies and your weapons. And if you see anything, call it out and be ready for a fight at all times.
Got it.
Sounds good.
I'm just gonna pull out my long slide and just
Yep.
start patrolling the area, like around all of them, while they start getting rest. Like for the remainder of the rest, I am on guard, making sure if anything's around, it at least knows that it won't be that easy again.
And I'm following you. I can't leave you unattended.
And yeah, at this point, I'm pretty much just waiting for Gwen and Thomas to get ready to start moving again.
Of course. Yeah, it is time to get moving again, isn't it? All right. On we go. Further up the slope in this forest. And still in the same marching order?
Yep.
Yeah.
We're moving along here. Further through the thickets, around the trees, walking on the needles. At least nobody has actually stepped in a deadfall yet. I think maybe old Tom might have a role in that. He's poking around with his stick, his walking stick. But now he's panting a lot and he's hydrating more frequently. Clearly, that climb took a bite out of him.
So how are we going to collect evidence on something we can't see?
We just need the knowledge that it's there. We don't need to see it. We at least just need to know that whatever creature is on this mountain is here, and that's it. At least from my understanding.
The more evidence, the better, though.
Yes, but
And to be fair, we don't even have any reason to believe what's happened so far has been related to any sort of intelligence. For all we know, there's some sort of weird thing on the mountains where things just disappear. Maybe like a rock that was holding up a couple of those other rocks just disappeared. Maybe the backpack, maybe surveyors. Might not be like a monster running around. It might just be like a weird thing on the mountain.
I admire your optimism. I really do.
A weird thing on the mountain that isn't supernatural?
More
That
like an anomalous
makes-
quality to the region, not necessarily a tangible thing running around on the mountain, snatching stuff up.
But wouldn't that still be a supernatural that we'd still need to... Never mind.
Yeah, but we would need to be able to differentiate that.
Oh, now I see what you mean.
Because right now it could just be an invisible prankster, or flying crabs, or bleed over from the children of the forest, or it could be a lot of different things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe it's haunted.
Do you
Ghost
have
River?
any non-terrifying suggestions?
Look how beautiful the forest is.
Not helping. I appreciate your suggestions, though.
It's the best I
Yeah.
could come up with.
Anyways, creepy forest, let's get out of here as soon as possible.
I want to have everyone roll an alertness check, please. For no reason at all, obviously.
I'm alert.
You are alert. Morrigan isn't. Nor is Gwyn, because she is very tired.
Yeah, at this point, I think she's just relying on Dristan.
I'm alert enough for the both of us.
So
Yes.
you are. Are you? Can you be sure, though, that you are?
I'm hoping I passed.
Because You will hear, if Phallus hears very clearly, a pretty... It's a bit muted, first. A rustling around. It's to the front as you're walking, following old Thomas. Maybe actually he falls behind the front leaders every once in a while because now he's so tired. But there is that rustling of branches and trees. And then you see it, Tristan. A deer is standing there and just looking right at you.
Please don't stand on two legs. Please don't stand on two legs.
It's not standing on two legs. It's just...
I'm hoping it doesn't eventually stand up on two legs and just start sprinting at us like Usain Bolt.
It does not. It is standing there looking at you, you looking at it. The moment it notices you, it just freezes up completely. And since Gwyn didn't see it as quickly, you are gonna take another couple of steps, which leads the deer to just bolt. It just turns, and you can see it just folds up its tail, so it's like you can see it has a very white rump. What can I say? Raising up its tail like that is probably some kind of instinct to confuse predators or to signal the rest of the flock or something like that. But it's just bolts into the woods and is a heck of a lot more agile running around here. You couldn't see it. It was the deer, the color on the deer, it was no more than 20 yards away from you when you finally spotted it. Because the brown of that pelt matches the tree trunks exactly. And then it just bolts away.
Have we ever considered that maybe it's not just the creatures that turn invisible in these woods?
Old Tom will cackle a bit. That's... If you were a deer in these woods, you wouldn't want to be seen either, because predators will kill you if you're seen.
What if it isn't invisibility but mimicry? The deer nearly blended in perfect with the tree trunk, so what's to say the creature itself can't mimic the surrounding around it?
Like a chameleon.
Exactly.
Possible, I suppose.
Just a hypothesis. Just to ease the thought of an actual invisible creature.
Actually, that got me thinking, what defines a supernatural? Do we just think of it as supernatural because we aren't the predators of it?
A beast that feasts on human flesh or was beyond mortal comprehension. That is what I define as an unnatural. And anything that meets that must be eliminated.
So then are we supernatural to the deer?
Like lions and tigers and alligators eating human flesh too.
Phallus.
And do we define them?
Phallus, you hear a slow creak, maybe a pop. It's almost like ice in a glass. And then you also hear a woodpecker hammering. It stops mid-beat and just stops.
That's why I defined it as beyond mortal comprehension.
The ice creaking noise was weird, but woodpecker makes sense.
And then you can see, fellas, how a tree, as you're looking at that direction, a tree is falling right towards you.
I scream move at the same time I jump.
Because you saw it in time, you get a regular dodge. Actually, a plus 20.
Oh, no.
On your, plus 20 on your dodge,
God.
because that's the dodge with the plus
Oh no,
20.
we didn't train him properly.
Oh, he's fine.
He has
Okay,
not
we
been
trained him
practicing
properly.
with Zed, has he?
I know. But he's fine. We can do training later.
Morgan and Blair, you get to roll a regular dodge check to get out of the way of this tree. That's not good.
Ooh.
Can I possibly try to kick Morgan out of the way, or kick one of them out of the way of the tree?
Nah.
Okay.
Okay, Blair. That hurts. Morgan, that hurts a lot.
Ow.
You hear a yelp as Ethan and Gwen and old Thomas, you turn around and you hear a yelp as Blair and Morgan disappear under the foliage. Phallus, you're probably on the other side of the tree. And Morgan, express Morgan's feelings when you are literally hit by a tree and a bunch of trunks that just come down upon you.
Son, bitch. Ow.
A scream, maybe, or just a ow. Okay, large ow.
Yeah, like, literally, just, like, exhale air, like, it would be so quick that she wouldn't be able to, like, even scream before that thing hits her.
Blair, you're caught about
She's
a
like a
bite
train.
too, a little bit. Yeah. A hefty branch falls over your shoulder and snaps before your shoulder snaps, which is a good thing, because it means that your shoulder doesn't snap. But you're going to have a bruise on that shoulder. Morgan is pinned underneath the tree. And old Tom is like,
Someone help me, please.
I told you this place is dangerous.
I'm in need of assistance.
Yeah,
Yes,
immediately
she
I'm
is.
trying
Yeah.
to help her out
Yeah.
of there.
I'm assuming all of us are trying to.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense, doesn't it? And
I am going to keep an eye out and up as well.
yeah, that also makes sense. It's gonna take you a good hour to get Morgan out of there, just teamworking it. You're bringing out, I don't know if any of you have an axe. Old Thomas definitely does. It's not a big one. It's just enough to trim branches and get some work done to get through rough foliage. But it certainly is very helpful right now. It's just going to take an age to chop through all the pieces of the tree that you need to chop through to free Morgan. During this time, you are not attacked by anything. The tree,
Except for a tree.
the forest is just quiet around you. After a little while, the woodpecker takes up its job again, but from a different direction. Yeah, Morgan, I don't think anything is broken actually, but you're gonna be very bruised, clearly, as you're finally liberated from underneath there. Is Blair
had
gonna
worse.
help out with some bandages?
Yeah.
Maybe you need to bandage yourself as well.
Need help with that?
Yeah. It's first aid, right?
Yes, indeed. Old Tom is actually gonna come up and offer to help you, Blair. Oh, look at that. That's hardly a scrape, really, Doctor, but I can help you if you need.
Same here.
Yeah, that might be best just to be safe.
Who is good at first aid here?
Gwen has a 50.
Except you now have a 30 because you're exhausted.
Gwen has a 30.
So that's about the same as everybody else here. So go ahead, Gwen. Let's see if you can help the doctor out.
Yay. No!
Not really, no.
Could have been worse, though.
Okay.
Blair, you're gonna have to teach her how to lay a proper.
Yeah.
You need some. Maybe you need some cold pack underneath there to get the swelling down as well, and you just don't have one available, sadly.
think Gwen's more of great with, did you eat something you shouldn't have? Rather than fixing bruises.
That makes sense, doesn't it?
Yeah, Tristan's given her plenty of practice with that.
That actually makes a
No.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
I'm
I-
hungry.
It doesn't mean you need to eat my polyethylene glycol.
But it tastes good.
It doesn't feel good, dumbass.
That's why I gave it to a neighbor's dog.
You're not supposed to give it to dogs. That's worse.
While they're healing, can I check the tree, like specifically where the base is, where it started tumbling, if there's any scratch marks or any indicator that this thing was broken through to have it fall, and not just nature deciding to tip one over?
That to me sounds like a forensics check.
I do not have that.
You don't even have forensics at all.
Nope.
Okay then.
Oh, no skill issue.
Phallus has some forensics if he wants to check that out.
I have some.
I have it as well, but do I roll first aid first?
Yeah, you're busy doing first aid right now.
Oh, so close.
So close, Phallus. Yeah, no, you can't really tell. Really, Blair? Really?
God damn it.
It's
To roll
but
for
at least it
myself as
wasn't
well.
a fumble.
Oh, you keep poking my bruises. This is not helping.
Yeah.
Do I need to roll for my own as well, or?
No, we've rolled for yours. Gwen tried to do a first aid on you, and
Okay.
it didn't really help, unfortunately. Yeah. For now, you're just gonna have to live with your bruises. You've tried to look at the stem of the. You know what? I can allow a survival check on that as well, honestly,
Thank you.
because I'm nice like that. Look at that, Tristan.
I am much better with survival.
Yeah, you don't get the feeling that this is a natural cut. When you look, like, on the intersection of the cross section of the tree, it doesn't look like it's murky enough to break like this. There are marks on it, but it's not like a chainsaw or an axe or anything like that. Closer to a beaver, maybe?
Okay. Now it's actively hunting us. Beware trees, any ambush spots. I know I've said it a million times, but now it's actively making moves instead of just toying with us and scouting us out. It's trying to kill us now. My honest opinion, I think we should get out of here. We are in its territory, its stomping grounds, and it could kill us at any time it wants. I think it's just taking its time.
Stones aren't far from here, but you decide.
No, we faked all the way out here. I feel like we should at least try to get to the stones and back.
I leave the decision all up to you. I gave my opinion.
but I agree with Mr. Zio here. I don't think... Let's just say there's a reason why I don't go up Owlshead. He nods to himself, old Thomas does. Alright, let's get going then.
But yep, fellas will get ready.
As it turns out, old Thomas wasn't wrong. You were not very far away from the stones. Only about half an hour later, walking through the underbrush, you get to a clearing with old stones.
Would these symbols mean anything to me? Would I have seen them before in my research or anything?
This stone ring, before I get to that, it's maybe 10-ish stones. They're about 6 foot tall. They're black basalt rock. They've definitely been rained on, and weather and wind has definitely taken its tolls. You're not really sure that they are, like, manipulated marks as such. There's just so much tree roots. There's, like, markings after seasonal rains and so on. But there they are. The stones.
Can I roll some type of occult check, maybe?
Looking over the markings, as far as you can see, none of you recognize any of that. You're trying to make it out. It's almost like you have to go in there with chalk to bring them out. I don't know if any of you have brought any chalk. Are they real marks, or are they just a result of weather and wind? Maybe animals have scratched their claws here and there. There's bird feces. There's mudslides that might have gone past. It's hard to tell. Like, anyone here have science geology?
No.
Nope.
I do not know if Sarah does.
I have military science land.
Yay!
What? Is that useful?
Not in the slightest right now.
Okay.
These are the stones, he says. Old Tom says. This is where I was 50 years ago. You can tell it was 50 years ago, he says. It's not going to be this neatly brushed. It actually is neatly brushed. He's going to be a bit surprised by that. Old Thomas is.
Well, him popping up was terrifying to me. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and search the area and see if there's any indicator of the surveyors. Maybe if this is swept off, maybe they've been up here and tended to the area.
Alright, forensics or survival for tracking?
Let's do forensics, if that's okay.
That is okay. You are all
Is that-
absolutely on your ball game today, aren't you?
Oh. Can I roll as well for the same thing?
You can.
Okay. Nope. Oh my god.
How many crit fails have we rolled so far in this group?
This is not a good session.
What were the ones we were allowed to roll for this?
Forensics or survival?
Okay.
Roll.
I'll throw my hat in.
Of
Oh.
course you will.
Okay.
Oh, thank God.
I should have rolled survival instead.
Morrigan
Yeah.
is doing great on everything here, aren't you? It was your first
I should've
check
rolled-
on forensics too, because you've just learned the skill, haven't you?
Yeah.
You're applying your skill in the wild for the first time. You know
Oh, at least I'll
exactly
get
what's
slightly
going on.
better at this beginning.
Okay. Old Tom is looking around as well. Can't not do that. So, what we have right now is Dristan, who has a success, and the rest of you have failures. Huh. Yeah, Dristan, there are marks around here. You will find a footprint in just a patch of bare earth. You can see it pretty clearly. It's not big enough for you to necessarily make like a cast of it, but you can make out the toes and like the ball of the foot.
Is it, like, if I compare my foot size against it, is it bigger than mine, or is it around the same size?
You didn't get a critical success. How big are you?
Average male size.
I'd say it's probably a little bit bigger.
Got footprints over here. See,
Where there are footprints, there are foots.
that's true, but what kind of alarms me is they aren't wearing shoes. That kind of raises some alarm bells, because normally a person would wear shoes in the outdoor forest. You'd either have to be insane or something bred to be in the forest to walk around barefoot.
Oh,
Old
going
Tom
insane
is
on the mountain doesn't sound too far out of the
old
question.
Old Tom is sitting next to that print and he's just nodding to himself. Yep, that's a footprint, all right.
It might be the researchers. They could have been running and lost their shoes. It could be human, but I do not think it's outside the realm of possibility that it could be something else.
Looks human enough to me, says old Tom.
The creatures that I've ran into at the moment have mostly looked human, or been able to use human skin.
Same here.
I'm not keeping outside the realm of possibility that this thing could have killed our people and then wore them like a tuxedo to prom.
Tom kind of shudders when you say that. You are the experts on this, I suppose. He's gonna take a firmer grip on his rifle.
Now, here is the million-dollar question. Do we continue and try to follow the footprints, see where it takes us, possibly find our people, but also possibly run into a encounter and get more injured or get lost? Or do we turn back with the information we have and come back later with more gear, but with the possibility of this print being long gone?
I think we've already spent so much time getting here. We would have to spend an equal amount of time getting out and then getting back to where we were to get any sort of footing. If we're trying to, like, not just find the remains of, but actually find these surveyors, we need to be on the trail.
Our main goal isn't necessarily to find the surveyors. Our goal is to find out what unnatural is here, if it is an unnatural. Document it, let base know, and then they will give us further orders. As wrong as this is and as cold as this sounds, they are our number one priority. If we can find them and save them, yes, that's a pat on the back for us. But our main priority is finding whatever is out here, if something is out here, and report it.
I agree. And I think that since we're already out here, we should probably try to stay on the trail.
Okay.
I understand if people want to go back. I know, the tree fell, not on me. But
So many dice.
I might have sent Phallus a whisper in the foundry.
I will leave the decision up to all of you. I will follow your leads. You are much more well-versed and not as ignorant as I am, so I trust your judgment. I'm here as muscle and to get a job done.
I don't know how to see the whispers in Foundry.
Just open chat and then...
Oh, got
Chat
it.
messages. Exactly.
Then yeah. Then as we're sitting around, I'll tell everybody, I'll be like, we're being watched here.
Lovely.
That changes things.
I immediately put the safety off of my gun and just get ready.
Now that Phallus has pointed this out, I think Morrigan, Tristan, yeah, you can feel it too. And I'm even going to say that, Phallus, as you're looking into the forest, you can see a silhouette. Like, it's between a couple of rocks, and is that the forehead of man? Maybe a lot of hair? You're not sure? Yeah, that it is. You're pretty sure that it's a man watching you between the stones and the rocks in the forest. It's gonna be like 40 yards away, something like that.
I hate that.
I'm watching you.
I'm gonna try to rotate myself in a way with the shotgun to where my back is towards them, and then whoever happens to be looking in my general direction, I'm gonna do crazy eye blink signals and try to gesture over my shoulder.
He blinks
Oh.
SOS.
Why don't you roll a stealth check for me, please?
Yeah.
Because you're trying to do this in a sneaky fashion.
I'm a
Aren't sneaky guy.
Oh, come
Bro.
on.
What
Very
is
sneaky
with
indeed.
our rolls tonight?
Today is
My
not a good
skills-
session.
If I survive this session, my skills are gonna go.
You are great at everything. Everything's fine. It's just no worries at all. So you're spinning around and obviously attracting attention from whomever is there, and they are running further into the forest. By this time, everybody can see. It's the silhouette of a man. You're pretty much sure. Like body language and build. And just disappearing further into the forest, running.
I'm taking off. And I'll
Fast
say,
as a
as I'm
deer.
running, yeah, as he's going, I'll take off as fast as I can, and I'll say, that's probably a surveyor. He saw some shit.
Just reluctantly chases at them. Damn it, that might not be the surveyor. Might be something else.
Phallus, roll an athletics check to see if you can catch up to this person.
I might be the worst dice roller in the history of rolling dice.
I'm telling you, it's going great. This is if you all were playing Rollmaster right now, you would be killing it. I'm just saying. Anybody remember Rollmaster?
Oh, if this was GURPS, I'd be on fire over here.
It was a long time since I played GURPS. Anyone else want to try to catch up with whoever disappeared?
I have to chase after Phallus.
Old Thomas is not a running person, obviously. They're like, oh, be careful!
Tristan is making it very known, like, this could be something else. Something that's wearing them. Come back, this thing could kill you in an instant if it isn't who you think it is.
I guess the good news then, Tristan, is that whoever it was disappears into the forest, moves really fast, like, you've seen footage of parkour masters when they jump over all sorts of hurdles. So think of a parkour master, but in a forest. And just jumping over those rocks, between those trees, down that slope, up that fallen tree trunk, knows exactly where to put their feet, and jump over things with their hands first, and then, and Phallus, you're just, yeah, no. That was fast. I'm not gonna say it was supernaturally fast. It's not moving like with the speed of a cougar or a deer, but whoever it is very good, very athletic at moving in the forest.
Would you say I've been able to catch up to him by now?
You have to roll your own athletics to catch up with Phallus. I don't know how long Phallus wants to keep chasing after this guy, though. As you run, after running for a few minutes, you can't see the guy anymore.
Nope.
So now we have a group. All the ladies are down in the clearing with old Thomas, as well as Dr. Blair, of course. And old Thomas is, I'll keep you safe. And he just puts himself between you and between the three of you and the forest, and has the rifle at the ready while the men are out running in the forest. Phallus, you haven't fumbled on your failure here, so you haven't hurt yourself and you haven't gotten completely lost, which is both good things. You can hit Tristan behind you. It's up to you how long you want to pursue this. Right now, you have lost sight of the person you're chasing. And let's see now. Can you hear them, though? Oh, yeah. Yeah, you heard some branches and snap over there. Up to you. What do we want to do? Are you muted again, fellas?
Yeah, sorry, I'm getting ready for work, so I'm just posting in the chat right now.
Okay. Should we assume that means that Phalo stops the chase?
Yeah. He said, if I've
Oh,
lost
there we
sight,
go.
I'll make a note.
He's the fastest. Okay. Yeah, Phalo stops the chase, and Tristan, you catch up to him.
Dristan looks horrified because this is eerily similar to something that he's experienced in his past. Specifically, the thing that wore Nate. So he is just, when he catches up to him, don't be on your own. Whatever this is, if this is what I think it is, it can tear you open within a second, and we won't be able to do anything to save you. Safety in numbers. Now let's go back, quick, fast, and in a hurry, before that thing decides it can take two of us on at the exact same time.
You are gonna get back to the clearing. Still, everyone is alive. Those are the good news, I guess.
It's very noticeable to everyone that he is horrified, looking over his shoulder, basically shaking. He's out of the forest now.
Old Thomas will nod. I'm not arguing against you, son. Let's go.
I'll explain more once we're in safety and can actually talk without looking over our shoulders.
All right. We are starting to make our way out of the forest. And at this particular moment, it seems like the forest is starting to let you go. No rocks have come tumbling down towards you. No more trees have come. Perhaps this is a sign of some kind. Look, you find an easy deer track. It's gonna lead you down, but it's going along a bit of a ledge. Blair?
Oh.
You have the creepy feeling that you're still being watched. And I'd say that goes for Morrigan and Tristan as well. You're pretty sure that there are eyes up there, and they're following you. Possibly just to make sure that you're leaving the mountain alone.
I want to make eye contact.
You want to make eye contact?
Yeah. This is a bad idea.
It's a great idea.
It's like challenging a stray dog looking into its eyes.
We want it to show up so we have evidence that it's there. What
Well,
better way than eyeballing it?
Morgan, you've been on trails before, and you've been out in the forest before. You know where to look. You know how to look for breaks in terrain. This terrain is more difficult than many others because there are so many breaks in the horizon all the time. Rocks, fallen logs, trees, brushes. It's a very easy place to hide. But you can't make eye contact, but you can make contact with something you think in the bushes over there, maybe?
Hmm.
Are we going to try and chase after it? Or are we leaving?
Let's see. I want to see. I want to check this out. To see if I can.
To see if you can what?
See if I can follow it. If I catch up to it. See what it is.
Then. That might be easier said than done. Who knows? You will see again the silhouette of a man who is moving away further into the forest, up the slope, away from you. You can see a lot of hair, like, just covering the face, the shoulders.
Wait, shit! It's Bigfoot.
It's the size of this fellow is about the size of Dristan, perhaps, or Fala, something in between. It's not an unusual size for a person, just a lot of hair. Hippie, perhaps. Who knows?
Yeah, it's Bigfoot.
Are you gonna chase after it? Him, them, it, they? I don't know. We don't know the pronouns.
Might as
of-
well try. Might as well try.
Okay. Roll your athletics.
My athletics are insane.
Yes, they are. That's a very good athletics check. Okay then. You are going to run through the forest. What is everybody else doing as Morgan is leaving the rest of you behind and running into the forest?
Yeah, I just, like a dog, I just shoot up and bolt off into the forest.
God damn it.
There's not really much I can do. I'm just trying to protect the rest of the party at this point.
Oh, so Morgan is alone. Very well.
Morgan and I broke into a kid's house last year. We're tight. I'll chase Morgan.
All right, fellas, let's go. Athletics. To keep up.
Can you roll that one for me, please? Make it a good one.
I cannot roll. That is not something I can guarantee. But you were lucky this time, apparently. You are definitely on our track here. And you are going to catch up with whoever this is. Morgan.
Ooh.
He will just stop, and you're gonna see a very dirty face looking at you. And he's gonna punch you.
Rude. Okay, I try to defend myself at least.
You can. He's not even punching you. It's a hatchet? Something like that?
That is so rude.
It is a little bit rude, isn't it?
I'm sorry. I thought you were Bigfoot, so I came over here trying to see if you were. Come on, mate.
Ooh.
Do I need to roll anything?
No. He's gonna
Okay.
attack you first because he's just
Dodge
that
or
fast.
fight back?
Yes, you do get to do that. So, wow, I just rolled absolutely abysmally. He just misses you completely.
I'm gonna try to take his hatchet. It's not very nice. I'm confiscating that.
Go ahead. Roll unarmed combat.
Hey. Ooh.
Okay. Swings wildly, misses you completely. Drops the hatchet and just punches you in the face.
Son of a bitch.
Yep. That's better. Okay. Will you be able to defend yourself from the attack? Are
Hopefully.
you gonna dodge or unarmed combat this?
Let's see which one is better. What about combat's better?
Oh man!
No. How many? How many
No, I'm
has
here
that
too,
taken
right?
out?
Because I kept up with her.
Yes, you will in fact
What is
enter
it with
the fray now.
77 and crit failing?
Oh,
Is that a
what?
bad number?
Critical
Usually
failure is
7's meant
terrible.
to be a
so-
lucky and holy number.
You know what? Actually, fellas, you get a chance to do something about this guy before they get a chance to do something to Morgan. So, what do you want to do?
I am going to try to restrain him
All right, that's going to
because
be unarmed
he's
combat, I
disarmed now,
guess.
right?
What was that?
He's disarmed now, right?
Yeah, he doesn't.
Man.
That hatchet is sitting in a tree.
Okay. Then yeah, once the hatchet's out of his hand, I'll come in and try to like kick at the back of his knees. Nice.
A 09 is very good, but it is not good enough because he rolled even lower. But
What?
at least that means
Damn.
that Morgan is not being hit.
Okay.
So
I'm
you
gonna try to
can.
beat him up again.
Yeah, okay. You're trying to do, and that's a critical failure on your part. So let's see what kind of fumble you get. Do you want to pick one, or should I roll for something?
I'll take distraction.
Distraction. Okay. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. You have a -20 on your next test.
I'd be like, bro, a tree fell on me. I am not doing good.
This is true. Fellas, you're up again. Wait a minute. So we're doing combat in close combat, and you were fighting against him, and he was fighting back. I just need to check because I am clearly not in need of any coffee right now. So attack, fighting back, right? That's what we're doing. You fight back, and yeah, there we go. That means that he gets to hurt you instead of you hurting him, right? If you win the contest, you
Is that
take
how it
no
works?
damage. It does not protect you against range. Apart as you choose one offensive action, attack called shot against a single attacker. Okay, so yeah, he's gonna hurt you, which you're probably going to feel.
What the fuck?
Unless I roll absolutely horribly, which I do. You get clocked in probably somewhere in your midriff. Feel the air escape from your lungs. That was like being hit by a ton of bricks in your midsection. But you're up again now, so what do you want to do?
Buckshot. 55.
Oh!
Whoa.
You're just pulling up your gun and
Whoa.
shooting him.
Yeah.
Oh, what? Bro.
Oh.
no. What'd you do that for?
Smart.
Okay then.
I'm sorry.
It's just a guy. So if you're shot
That's
with
not just a guy.
He's just a guy rolling 2d4 on a fucking unarmed attack.
That apparently hits like a truck.
He might be Bigfoot. Killing him
Well,
due to the trout population.
Firearms attack in the face. That's rude. Why don't you roll a critical success and double your damage?
Nice. So what is that, just 2d6?
No, you are shooting with... Oh, what are you shooting with? You're shooting with your... Is it slug?
It's just
It's a shotgun.
It's just buckshot. Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So 2d8 times 2.
Ooh.
Because
2d8 times 2.
this is what it's made for. Like, you are in close proximity. That's... Are you
holy
absolutely...
Oh my
Dead.
god.
Get his ass.
He's dead.
Oh.
32 points of damage.
Has there ever
Oh my
been?
God, fuck.
His head gonna be smithereens.
Oh god, what if
I
this
just
is
shot his
surveyor?
head and spine off the rest of his body. Somebody call the FBI.
Yep. Blam!
You just killed a guy.
He started it.
Like just maybe it was just
I
some
saved your
random
life.
dude.
He came at you with a hatchet. I just saved your life. And mine. He just broke a rib.
Okay, so you shoot him not just a little bit, but blow a hole clean through his torso and out the other side. Bloodshed everywhere. Internal organs everywhere. Just absolute goop around here. And sanity is a thing.
Yeah, that's fair.
You just absolutely killed in self-defense here, I would say. So you
I was
have to roll
standing
a
my
sanity
ground.
check, please.
I just watched the guy's head get exploded
Yeah,
right in front of
basically.
me.
It's a success, Phallus, so you don't actually lose sanity, which is good for you.
I
Morrigan,
don't have to also roll one for extreme gore, do I?
Do I have to roll?
You do have to roll, just to
Hey.
see the absolute mutilation, as it were.
I've seen worse.
You have, apparently. Yeah, this guy, he will just collapse on the ground because of this massive trauma. And yeah, he's lying there, just eyes looking into the canopy, broken gaze, can see nothing. And what are we doing, Morgan and Phallus?
I just
There's
I was
not
going to ask him.
there's
gonna
not
ask a question.
one sign of life in this body. It's just absolutely still.
Okay, I'm gonna loot the body.
You're gonna loot the body.
I'm looting the body. I'm taking the hatchet and anything that he had on his person that would be useful. He's dead already. And he tried to
Yeah,
kill
did he have
me.
shorts with a wallet or something?
He's actually shorter than you thought he was. He's more like maybe 5'5" or something.
Much bigger than he is.
Yep. He's butt naked.
Oh my
but
god.
completely filthy. Like, just caked in dirt, mud, fir needles, all sorts
Just
of,
the hair.
bits and pieces of underbrush and mosses. His hair is a mat of knotted red strands.
I see.
And does
He
this
looks
look like the
almost like
same one that I
Patrick.
saw peeking from around the stones earlier?
Oh yeah.
Or is this a
Yeah,
different
definitely the
feral
same guy.
feller?
Yeah, definitely
Okay.
the same guy. He looks to be maybe 30 or so.
Hey,
Take his hatchet. I have
mystery
his hatchet.
solved. It was just this
Happy
guy.
with it.
There's nothing supernatural here.
And on that strange twist and turn of events, shocking as it may seem, we will leave these brave investigators of Z-Cell. Maybe there was nothing unnatural on this mountain after all.
Maybe it was just a
Maybe-
bunch of buck-naked cultist hooligans with hatchets.
Maybe it's just a bunch of buck-naked hooligans with hatchets. He does have a rope around his waist, I will say, where he keeps a long knife as well, but that's about it, yeah.
Give me the knife.
You have the knife.
Nice.
Yay.
Yeah. It's a sizable hunting knife, yeah. But, yeah, no, that's it. He's lying there, and Z-Cell, maybe this was it. Maybe you did it. You survived a night on Owlshead Mountain. Maybe this is all. Well,
It's
we'll come
not.
back next
It's never
week
that
and find
easy. It's
out
never that easy.
if it was that easier. Thanks for tuning in, everyone, and we'll see you in a week. Remember to subscribe, follow, ring the bell on YouTube, and do all the things that you need to do to get the latest updates from ASO. See you in a week.
Bye.